As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will, but poor 1,000 crowns, and charged my brother to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My brother Jaques he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home. For call you that keeping of a gentleman of my birth, that differs from a stalling of an ox? This is it, Adam, that grieves me, and I will no longer endure it.
Oh, yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt see how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not made to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God hath made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be not a while.
What, shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well.
Know you before whom, sir?
I know you are my elder brother. The courtesy of nations allows you my better in that you are the firstborn, but the same tradition takes not away my blood. I have as much of my father in me as you.
What, boy?
Come, come, elder brother, you are too young in this.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys, and he is thrice a villain that said such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thee until the other had ripped out thy tongue for saying so.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be it accord.
You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman, or else give me the poor allotment my father left me by testament. With that, I'll go buy my fortunes.
And what will thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you, leave me.
I will no further offend you than benefits my good.
Get you with him, you old dog!
Oh, Gary, did you hear that? Is old dog my reward? Most true have lost my teeth in your service. Oh, God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Holla, Dennis!
Oh, your worship.
Was not Charles the Duke's wrestler here to speak with me?
So please you, he is here at the door.
Send him in. 'Twill be a good way. And tomorrow the wrestling is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good, Monsieur Charles. What be the new news at the new court?
There is no news at the court, sir, but the old news, that is, the old Duke, is banished by his younger sister, the new Duchess.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the Duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh no, for the Duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her that she would have followed her into exile or have died to stay behind her.
Where will the old Duke live?
They say he is already in the Forest of Arden, and a many merry men with him. And there they live like the old Robin Hood of England.
What? You wrestle tomorrow before the new Duchess?
And marry do I, sir. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall. Your brother is but young and tender, and I would loathe to foil him. Therefore, I come hither to acquaint you with all, that either you might stay him from his intendment, or brook such disgrace will as he shall run into, in that it is a thing of his own search, and altogether against my will.
I tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use thy discretion, for I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger. For there is not one so young and so villainous this day living.
I am heartily glad I come hither to you. If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. And so, God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end of him, for my heart, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than him. This wrestler shall clear all.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of, and yet you would I were merrier? Unless you can help me forget a banished father.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy aunt, the Duchess my mother, so thou hadst still been with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for my mother. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love to me were so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget my condition to rejoice in yours.
You know my mother hath no child but I, and truly, when she dies, thou shalt be her heir. For what she hath taken away from thy father perforce, I will render again in affection. Therefore, sweet my Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth I will, and I will devise sports. Let me think. What dost thou think of falling in love?
Marry, I pray thee, do to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport, neither than with the safety of a pure blush thou mayst in honor come off again.
La 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 la.
How now, wench? Whither wander you?
Mistress, you're bid to come to your mother.
Were you made the messenger?
Oh, no, by mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Oh, of a certain knight that swore by his honor that they were good pancakes and swore by his honor that the mustard was not. Now, I'll stand to it that the pancakes were not and the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
I, marry now, unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now, stroke your chins, and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
I are beards. If we had them, thou art.
Oh, by my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that that's not, you are not forsworn. No more was this knight swearing by his honor. For
Prithee, who is that thou meanest?
oh, one that old Frederica your mother loves.
My mother's love is enough to honor him. Enough. Speak no more of him.
Oh, the more pity that fools may not speak wisely what wise men do foolishly.
Bonjour, Monsieur Lebeau. What's the news?
Oh, fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what color?
Ooh, what color, madame? I shall answer you.
As wit and fortune will.
Or as their destinies decrees.
Well said. That was laid on with a towel.
Oh, you amaze me, ladies. I must tell you, for there is great wrestling which you have lost the sight of.
Oh, You tell us the manner of the wrestling.
Oh, I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyships, you will see the end. For the best is yet to do, and here, where you are, they are coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning.
There comes an old man in his 3 sons. The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles, in a moment, threw him down and broke 3 of his ribs. That there is little hope of laughing, mon Dieu. So he served the second and the third.
Alas!
Oh, but what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, that I speak of.
Oh, it is the first time that I've ever heard the breaking of ribs was a sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
Oh, oui, you must, for here is a place appointed for the wrestling.
Yonder, sure, they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madam.
Alas, he is too young.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Hi, my liege. So please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it. There are such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur Lebeau.
Do so. I'll not be by.
Monsieur the challenger, the princesses call for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess, he is the general challenger. I come, as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir. Your reputation shall not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duchess that the wrestling may not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty, to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your good wishes and fair eyes go with me to my trial. I shall not do my friends harm, for I have none to lament me, and the world no injury, for in it I have nothing.
The little strength that I have, I would it were with you.
And mine to eke out hers.
Come, where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, but his workings hath in it a more modest meaning.
You shall try but one fall.
No, I warrant your grace. You shall not entreat him to a second that have so mightily persuaded from the first.
And you mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before. But come your ways.
Oh, excellent young man.
No more.
Yes, I beseech your grace. I am not yet well breathed.
How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lady.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I wouldst thou had been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I wouldst thou have told me of another father.
Were I my father, cuz? Would I do this?
My father loves Sir Roland as his soul. Had I known before this young man, his son, I should have given him tears and entreaties. There he should have thus ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us thank him and encourage him. My mother's rough and envious disposition sticks me at the heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do, keep your promises in love, but justly and all promise. Your mistress shall be very happy.
Gentleman, where this for me? Why not a suit with the fortunes that could give more, but her hand lacks means? Shall we go, cuz?
Aye, fare you well, fair gentleman.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are overthrown, and that which stands here is but a Quinton, a lifeless block.
He calls us back. My pride fell with my fortunes. I'll ask him what he would. Sir, did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Farewell.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you have deserved much applause and love, but such is the Duchess's condition that she misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you, ma'am, and pray tell me this, which of the daughters here was the daughter of the Duke here at the wrestling?
Oh, neither a daughter, if we judge by manners, but indeed the shorter one a daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and he'll detain to keep her daughter company. But I can't tell you. Shh. That of late, the Duchess had ta'en displeasure against the gentle-niece, and all my life her malice against the lady will suddenly break forth. Oh, sir, fare you well.
Thus must I from the smoke into the smother, from tyrant Duchess to tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind.
Why, cousin, why, Rosalind, Cupid have mercy, not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lame me with reason.
Then there were two cousins laid up. When one should be lamed with reason, the one mad without any.
Ah, but is all this for your father?
No, some of it is for my child's father.
Come, wrestle with thy affection.
They take a part of a good wrestler than I am.
Let us talk. In good earnest, is it possible on such a sudden you should fall into such strong liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
Oh, the Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By that kind of chase, I should hate him, for my mother hated his father dearly. But I hate not Orlando.
No, Faith, do not hate him for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he deserve well?
Let me love him for that. And you love him because I do. Oh, look, here comes the Duchess.
With her eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, aunt?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let me know the knowledge, and my faults bear with me.
Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Your trust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. What's that to me? My father was no traitor.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. Why, if she be a traitor, so am I. We still have learned, played, and eat together. And wheresoever we went, still we went coupled and inseparable.
Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and see more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence on me, then, my liege. I cannot live I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honor and the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Be not thou more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not. Cousin, prithee, be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duchess hath banished me, her own daughter?
She hath not.
No, hath not. Shall we part, sweet girl? No, let my mother speak another error. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly. I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the Forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves faster than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, the like do you, so we shall pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, because I am more than common tall, that it did suit me all points to be a man?
And what shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse name than Jove's own page, and therefore you shall call me Ganymede. What shall you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my estate. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your mother's court? Would he not be a comfort on our travels?
He'll go along o'er the wild world with me. Let's away, devise the fittest time and the safest way to hide us from the pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now, go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my co-mates and brothers and sisters in exile, are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? And this our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stone, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornnness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we go and kill us venison? And yet it irks me that the poor dappled fools should in their own confines with forked heads have their round haunches gored.
Oh, indeed, my lord. The melancholy she grieves at it.
Oi, today my Lord Amiens and ourselves did steal behind him as he lay along under an oak, at to which place a poor sequestered stag that from the hunter's aim had taken her at, did come to languish.
Oh, and indeed, my lord, the wretched animal heaved sore forth such groans, and the big round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous chase.
But what said Jaques? Did he not moralize the spectacle?
Oh, yes, in your thousand similes, that thus most invectively he pierceth through the body of this our life, swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright ye animals up and to kill them in their assigned and native dwelling place.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
Aye, we did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing dear.
Oh, show me the place. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for then he's full of matter.
Can it be possible that no man saw them? It cannot be.
I cannot think of any that did see her, my lady. The Rhenish clown is also missing. The princess's gentlewoman says that she secretly overheard them much commend the parts and graces of the wrestlers that did but lately foil the sunny Charles. And she believes wherever they are, the youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Fetch that gallant hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I'll make him find him. Do this suddenly.
Oh, oui.
Who's there?
Oh, my gentle master, why, what make you here? Why are you so virtuous? Why do people love you? Know you not, master, to some kind of men their graces serve them but as enemies? Oh, what a world this is, when what is comely envenoms him that bears it.
Why? What is the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth, come not within these doors, within this roof. The enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. If he fail that, he will have some other means to cut you off. Oh! Overheard him and his practices. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it. Fear it. Do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What, wouldst thou have me go and beg my food, or with a base and boisterous sword enforce a thievish living on the common road? I would rather subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
Oh, but do not so. I have 500 crowns. Take that, and he that doth the ravens feed, yea, providently caters for the sparrow, be of comfort for my old age. Gary, get off my breast. Here's the gold. Oh, let me be your servant. Though I look old, I am but strong and lusty. Oh, I'll do the service of a younger man in all your business and necessities.
Oh, good old woman, how well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world. But poor old woman, thou prunest a rotten tree that cannot so much as blossom yield to the lieu of all thy pains and husbandry. But come thy ways, we'll go along together.
Master, go on, and I'll follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty. Gary, go fetch.
Oh, Jupiter, how weary are my spirits.
I cannot for my spirit of my life weary.
I could find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel, as doublet and hose ought to show itself courageous to petticoats. Therefore, courage, good Aliena.
I pray you, bear with me. I can go no further.
For my part, I would rather bear with you than bear you.
Well, this is the Forest of Arden.
Now am I in Arden. The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travelers must be content.
Aye, be so, good touchstone. Look you, who comes here? An old man and young in solemn talk.
That is the way to make her scorn you still.
Of course, that thou knewest how I do love her.
I partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
Of corn. Being old, thou canst not guess. If thy love was ever like to mine, as I'm sure did never man love so. How many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Oh, thou didst then never love so hardly. If thou rememberest not the slightest folly that ever did love make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe.
Alas, poor shepherd. This shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
I pray you, one of you, question yon man if he for gold will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
How do you, clown?
Peace, you fool! She is not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
You're better, sir.
Unless they're very wretched.
Peace, I'd say. Good evening to you, friend.
And to you, gentle sir, and to all of you.
I pray thee, shepherdess, if that love or gold can in the desert place buy entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here is a young maid would travel much oppressed and faints with succor.
Fair sir, I pity her and wish my fortunes were more able to relieve her, but I am a shepherdess to another man. My master is of churlish disposition. Besides, his coat, his flocks, and bounds of feed are now on sale, and at our sheepcote now, by reason of his absence, there is nothing he will feed on.
What is he that buy his flock and pasture?
That young swain that you saw here but a while, that cares for buying anything.
I pray thee, if it stands with honesty, buy thou the cottage, pasture, and flock, and thou shalt have to pay it on us.
And when will mend thy wages? I like this place and willingly could waste my time in it.
Go with me. If you like upon report the soil, the profit, and this kind of life, I will your very feeder be and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and turn his merry notes unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather.
More, prithee, more.
It will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jacques.
I thank it. More, I prithee, more. I can suck melancholy out of a song like a weasel sucks eggs.
Well, my voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. More, I prithee, more.
What will you, Monsieur Jacques?
Nay, I care not for their names. Will you sing?
Well, I'll end the song. Sir, the Duke here, drink under this tree. He hath been all this day to look you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, and yet I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, warble, come.
Who doth ambition shun, who loves to live in the sun, seeking the food he eats and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather.
I'll give you a verse to this note that I made yesterday in despite of my invention.
And I'll sing it.
Thus it goes. If it to come to pass that any man on us, leaving his will beneath, a stubborn will to please, There shall he seek us fools as men if he will come to. I'll go sleep if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go see the douche. Supper is prepared.
Dear master, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here lie down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
Why, how now, Adam? Live a little, cheer thyself a little. Hold death a while at the arm's end. I will here be with thee presently. And if I bring thee not something to eat, I give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come, thou art a mocker of my labor. Well said. Cheerily, good Adam.
Gary, where'd it go? I'm not dead yet.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man.
My lord, he is but even now gone hence.
Oh, here he was, Mary, hearing of a song.
Go, seek him. Tell him I would speak with him.
Oh, he saves my labor by his own approach.
Why, how now, monsieur? What a life is this, that your poor friends must woo your company? What? You look merrily.
A fool. I'm Matt, a fool in the forest, a motley fool, a miserable world. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he, call me not a fool until heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking at it, said very wisely, it is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. It is but an hour ago since it was 9. And so, by hour and hour, we ripe, and then by hour and hour, we rot and rot. My lungs began to crow like Chanticleer that fools should be so deep contemplative, and I did laugh. Sans intermission. Ah, worthy fool, a noble fool. Motley is the only wear.
What fool is this?
A worthy fool, one that was a courtier. Ah, that I were a fool. I'm ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments of all thoughts that grow rank into them, that I give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world. But who come here?
Forbear, no more.
Why, we have eaten none yet.
Thou art thus boldened, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners.
The thorny point of bare distress hath taken from me the smooth civility. But forbear, I say. He that touches any of this dies till my affairs are answered.
You will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed. Welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently. Pardon me, I pray you. I thought all the things had been savage here, and so therefore I put on the countenance of a stern commandment. If ever you looked on better days, if ever your eyelids wiped a tear from your eyes, it is to pity and be pitied. Let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in which I now blush and hide my sword.
True it is that we have seen better days, and sat at good men's feast, and wiped our eyes of drops that sacred pity have engendered. And therefore sit you down in gentleness. and take upon command what help we have that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little while, whilst I, like a doe, go to find my fawn and give it food. There is a poor old woman who after me hath many weary step limped in pure love, till she first be sufficed, oppressed with two weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bite.
Go, find her out, and we will nothing waste until you return.
I thank ye, and bless you for good comfort.
Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And each man in his time plays many parts. His act being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in his nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and his shining morning shades creeping like snail unwillingly to school. Then the lover, sighing like a furnace with a woeful ballad written to his mistress's eyebrow. Then the soldier, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel. Then the justice, in fair round belly, and good capon lined with his wise saws and his modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts towards the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, and his big manly voice turns again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. And the last age of all, which ends this strange and eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable birth and let her feed.
I thank you most for her.
So you had need. I scarcely speak to thank you for myself and my poor Gary.
Welcome. Fall to. I will not trouble you as yet to question you about your fortunes. Give us some music, and good cousins, sing.
Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy foot is not so keen, because thou art not sane, although thy breath be rude, although thy breath be rude. Hi-ho, sing hi-ho, unto the green holly, most friendship is fading, most love is mere folly. Then hi-ho, the holly, this life is most jolly.
Oh, if that you were the good Sir Roland's son, as you've whispered faithfully, you were, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. Give me your hand, and let me all your fortunes understand.
Not see him since, so that cannot be. But look to it, find out thy brother wheresoe'er he is, bring him dead or living, or turn thou no more to seek a living in our territory.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in all of this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More villain thou. Well, push him out of doors, and let my officers of such a nature make an extent upon his house and lands. Do this expediently, and turn him going.
Hang there my verse, in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character. Run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
And how like you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life, but in respect that it's a shepherd's life, oh, it is not. In respect that it is solitary, I like it very well, but in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. Oh, wast thou ever in court, shepherd?
Nay, truly.
Well, then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly, thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg all on one side.
For not being at court. Your reason.
Why, if thou was never in court, why then never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, then thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is a sin, and sin is damnation. Oh, thou art in a parlous state, shepherd.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at court are ridiculous in the country, as the behavior of the country is most mockable at court.
Oh, well, instance, come briefly, instance.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Oh, wilt thou rest damned? God help thee, shallow woman.
Sir, I am a true laborer. I earn what I eat. Oh, no man hate. Glad of other man's good, and the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
Well, that is another simple sin in you. To bring the ewes and the rams together and to offer up your living by the copulation of cattle. If thou beest not down for this, thou devil himself shall have no shepherds.
Well, here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to the western end, her worth being mounted on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosaline.
If a heart do lack in hind, let him seek out Rosaline. Oh, sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosaline. Oh, this is a very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, dull fool. I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit. Yeah.
Peace. Here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
Poems all hang on every tree, twixt the soul of friends and friends. Or at every sentence end will I, Rosalinda, write, teaching all that read to know, heaven would in little show. Therefore heaven nature charged that one body should be filled with all graces wide and large. Cleopatra's majesty, Atalanta's better part, sad Lucretia's modesty, thus Rosalind of many parts, of many faces, eyes, and hearts.
Oh, a gentle pulpiter.
Oh, now back, friends, shepherds, go off a little. Go with him, sirrah.
Oh, well, come, shepherd. Let us make an honorable retreat.
Trow you who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Change you color.
I pray thee who?
Oh, Lord, Lord, it is a hard matter for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed with earthquakes and so encounter.
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I pray thee with the most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, and yet again wonderful, and after all of that, pooping.
I pray thee tell me who it is quickly and speak up pace.
So you may put a man on your belly?
Is he of God's making? What manner of a man?
It is young Orlando that tripped up the wrestler's heels and your hearts, both in an instant.
Nay, but the devil take mocking speak. Oh, sad brow and true maid.
Aye, faith, cuz 'tis he. He
Orlando?
Orlando.
Oh, alas, a day! What shall I do with my doublet and hose? What was he when thou sawest him? What sayest he? How looketh he? Wherein went him? What makes him here? Did he ask for me? When wilt thou see him again? Oh, when wilt thou parted with him? Where remains him? Answer in one word.
You must borrow me Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth of this age's size. To say A and no to these particulars is more than to answer in a catechism.
Oh, but doth he know I am in the forest? Oh, in man's apparel! Looketh as fresh the day he wrestled.
I found him under a tree like a dropped acorn. There he lay, stretched along like a wounded knight.
Oh, what a pity sight, but well becomes the ground.
Cry hollow to thy tongue. I pray thee, it curvets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden, but thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you know I am a woman? When I think I must speak, sweet, say on.
You bring me out. Soft, comes he not here?
'Tis he, slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had lief had been myself alone.
And so had I, but yet for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire that we may become better strangers.
I pray you. Mar no more trees with writing of love songs in their barks.
I pray you mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You have a nimble wit. Will you sit down with me and we two will rail against our mistress, the world, and all our miseries?
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
Your greatest fault is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change for your best virtue. I'm weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking out a fool when I found you.
Oh, he is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Monsieur Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under the habit play a knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well, what would you?
I pray you, what is o'clock?
You should ask what time of day it is. There's no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as any clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Had that not been as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels with divers paces and with divers persons. I'll tell you who time trots withal.
I prithee, who doth he trot withal?
Marry, he trots with a young maid between the contract of her marriage and the day it is solemnized. Time's paces is so hard that it seems the length of 7 years.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest.
Your accent is something finer than you could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak. One that knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I heard him read many lectures against it.
I prithee, recount some of them.
No, I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man that hunts the forest and abuses our young trees. Play with the carvings of the name Rosalind on their barks. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him a good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love shakes. I pray you tell me your remedy.
There is no of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me to know a fool in love.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not.
Fair youth, I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe? You may as soon make her that you love believe, which I warrant she is after to do than confess she does. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, I am he, that unfortunate he.
And are you so in love as your rhyme speaks?
Oh, neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness. But I yet profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time I would be effeminate, fantastical, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, for passion everything, and no passion truly anything, as boys and women are for the most part the cattle of this color, and now would like him and now would hate him, but then I would spit at him. I drave my suitor from his mad humor for love to a loving humor of madness, and thus I cured him. In this way I will take upon to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there is no spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you. If you would call me Rosalind and come every day to my cote and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me. I'll show it to thee. And by the way, you shall tell me where you in the forest live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind.
Meh, meh, meh. Ah, crap. Meh, meh.
Oh, come apace, good Audrey.
Oh, Sir Patrick, you are so sweet. I love you so, so much. Thou art the sweetest little goat in all of the kingdom.
We'll fetch up your goats, Audrey.
Oh, you will. Oh.
Why, art thou the sweetest little thing? Yes, thou art. Yes, thou. Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oh! Sir Patrick, thou art a naughty goat. Naughty, naughty Sir Patrick.
Am I the man yet? Doth my simple features content you?
Oh, your features. Lord, warrant us your features.
I am here with thee and thy goats. As the most capricious poet, honest Ovid was amongst the Goths.
Oh, knowledge ill inhabited. Worse than Jove in a thatched house.
Oh, when a man's verses cannot be understood, or a good man's wit seconded by the forward child understanding, it strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in a little room. Oh, truly, I wish the gods had made thee more poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest in deed and word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are often given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry may be said as lovers they do feign.
Do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
Oh, I do, truly, for thou swearest to me that thou art honest. Now, if thou were a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
Oh, no, truly, unless thou wert hard favored. For honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey as sauce to sugar.
Ah, material fool.
I'm not fair, and therefore I thank the gods I am honest.
Oh, truly, and to cast away honesty upon a foul slut were to put a good great meat into an unclean dish.
I am not a slut, and therefore I thank the gods I am foul.
Oh, well, praised be the gods for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter, but be it as it may, I will marry thee. And to that end, I have been with Sir Oliver Martex, the vicar of the next village, who has promised to meet me in this place of the forest and to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting.
The gods give us joy.
Oh, amen. A man may, if he were of a fearful heart, but stagger in this attempt. For here we have no temple but the wood, no assembly but horned beasts. But what though? Courage. Oh, here comes Sir Oliver.
Oh, goody!
Ah, Sir Oliver Martex, you are well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we go to your chapel?
Marriage, it's what brings us together. Is there none here to give the woman?
Whoa. I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed. Proceed. I'll give her.
Good evening, good master. What you call it? How do you do, sir? You are very well met. I am very pleased to see you.
Will you be married, Motley?
Oh, as the ox hath his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falcon her bells, a man hath his desires. And as pigeons bill and wedlock may be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Go to a church where a real priest can tell you what marriage is. This man will but join you together as they join wainscot, and one of you will prove a shrunken panel, and, like green timber, warp.
Oh, what's dangling won't be any good for dingling.
Oh, I am not in the mind, but I were better married of him than of another, for he is not likely to marry me well, and not being well married, it will be a good excuse for me to hereafter leave my wife.
Go with me and let me counsel thee.
Yes, come, sweet Audrey. We must be married, or we will live in Broadway. Farewell.
Ish.
'Tis no matter. Whatever fantastical knave of them all shall flop me out of my calling. Wove. Woo, wove.
Never talk to me, I will weep.
Do, I pray thee, but yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But why did he swear he could come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They are both the confirmer of false reckonings. He attends here in the forest with the Duke, your father.
I met the Duke yesterday and had many questions with him. He asked me what a parentage I was. I said as good as he. He laughed and let me go. But why do we talk of fathers when there is such a man as Orlando?
Yes, so that's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. Who comes here?
Mistress and Master, you have often inquired after the shepherd that complained of love, praising the proud, disdainful shepherdess that was his mistress.
Well, and what of him?
If you will see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of proud disdain, go hence a little and I shall conduct you, if you will mark it.
Oh, come, let us remove. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love. Bring us to the sight, and you shall say I'll play a busy actor in their play.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon.
Would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. But now I do frown on thee with all my heart. And if mine eyes could wound, now let them kill thee. Oh, for shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now show me the wound mine eye hath made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, have hurt thee not. Nor am I sure there is no force in my eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as that ever may be near, you meeting some fresh cheek, the power fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks, pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you exalt and insult all at once over the wretched? Oh, must you be therefore proud and pitiless? What means this? Why do you look on me? I see no more in you in the nature of sailstock. Oh, it's my little life. I think she means to entangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud shepherdess. Hope they're not after. You foolish shepherd. Why do you follow her? 'Tis not her glass, but you that makes her self proud and flatters her. But mistress, know yourself, for I must tell you in a friendly ear. Sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Oh, cry the man mercy, love him, take his offer. Fare you well.
Sweet youth, I pray you. I would rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness, and she falls in love with my anger. If this be so, I'll sauce her with bitter words. Why look you upon me?
For no ill will, I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me. I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. Shepherd, ply her hand. Come, sister, look on him better, and be not proud, though all the world could see. Now none could be as abused as he.
Dear shepherd, now I find thy saw of might. Who ever loved that loved not at first sight?
Sweet Phoebe.
What sayest thou, Silvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, gentle Silvius, I am sorry for thee. Thou hast my love, is not that neighborly?
I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. Gentle Silvius, 'twas the time that I hated thee, and yet 'tis not that I bear thee love, but since thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I'll employ. But do not look for further recompense than thy own company than thou art employed. Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. Was a pretty youth, not very pretty. Sure he was proud, yet his pride becomes him. There was a pretty redness in his lip. There be some women, Silvius, that had marked him in parcels that I had, that would have gone near to fall in love with him. But I love him not, nor hate him not, though I have more reason to hate him than to love him. I'll write him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it, wilt thou, Silvius?
Sweet Phoebe, with all my heart.
I will be bitter with him in passing short. Come with me, Silvius.
Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all the while? Where all the while? And you serve me another trick? Never come in my sight no more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise and love.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Come, woo me, woo me. What would you say were I now your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I speak.
Nay, you were better speak first. And when you were grovelled for, then you have occasion to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins new matter.
Who could be out being before his beloved mistress?
Marry, that should you. If I were your mistress, or I should think my honesty ranker than my wit.
What, of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, yet out of your suit. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Then in mine own person I die.
Men have died from time to time, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest her frown might kill me.
By this hand, it will not kill a fly. But come now, I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition. Ask me what you will. I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind. What
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then? Can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What say you, sister?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin. Will you, Orlando?
Fine, go to. Will you, Orlando, take to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why, now, as fast as she can marry us.
Then you must say, I take thee Rosalind for wife.
I take thee Rosalind for wife.
I might ask you your commission, but I take thee Orlando to be my husband. Now tell me, what will you do with her now that you've possessed her?
I will have her forever and a day.
Say a day, without the ever. No, no, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids. The skies change when they are wed. I will be more jealous of you than a Barbary cock with over her hen.
But will my Rosalind do so?
Aye, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Or else she would not have the wit to do this. No, the wiser, the waywarder. Make the doors open upon a woman's wit and it out of the casement.
A man that had a wife with a wit like that, he might say, wit whither wilt.
Oh, nay. You might keep that check till you find your wife's wit going to your neighbor's bed.
And what wit could wit have to Excuse that.
Mary, to say she comes to find you there. You shall never take her without her wit, unless you take her without her tongue.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Nay, I cannot lack thee for these 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, but I thought you no less. The flattering tongue of yours won me. 2 o'clock your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth, and in good earnest, if you break one jot of your promise or quote 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise and most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her you call Rosalind, that may be chosen out of the gross and band of unfaithful. Therefore, beware your censure and go your ways. Keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert my very Rosalind. So adieu.
Well, time is the old justice that examines all such offenders. Let time try. Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love prate. We must have your doublet and hose plucked over your head and show the world what the bird hath done to her own nest.
I'll tell thee, Aliena, I cannot be without a sight of Orlando. I'll find myself a shadow and sigh till he come.
And I'll sleep.
Which is he that killed the deer? Let's present him to the Duke like a Roman conqueror. Have you the song for this occasion?
Yes, sir.
Sing it! It is no matter how it be in tune, so it make noise enough.
What shall he have that hath killed the deer? His leather skin and horns to wear. Then sing him home. The horn, the horn, the horn. 'Tis not the thing to love to scorn, to love to scorn, to love to scorn, to love to scorn.
How say you now? It is out past 2 o'clock, and here much Orlando.
I've warned you, with pure love and troubled brain, he hath taken his bow and arrows and is gone forth to sleep. Look, who comes here?
My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and the waspish action which she did use as she was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor.
She says I am not fair, that I lack manners, and that she could not love me. Oh, it's my will. Her love is not the hare I hunt. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well. This letter is of your own invention.
No, I protest. I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Come. You are such a fool, and turned into the extremity of love. I say she never did invent this letter. This is a man's invention and his hand.
Yeah, sure, it is hers.
Why, 'tis a boisterous and cruel style. Women's gentle brain could not drop forth such giant rude invention. Will you hear the letter?
So please you, for I not heard it yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Could a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
If the scorn of your bright eyne have power to raise love in mine, whiles you chid me I did love. He that brings the love to thee little knows this love in me. And by his seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind will to faithful aftertake of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die.
Oh, you just cheating!
Alas, poor shepherd.
No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? Well, go your way. I see love has turned thou into a tame snake. But say this to her, that if she love me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I never will have her unless thou entreat for her. If thou be a true lover henceforth, here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know, where in the pureliest of this forest stands a sheepcote fenced about with olive trees?
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom. But at this hour, the house doth keep itself. There's none within.
If that an eye may profit by a tongue, then shall I know you by the description. The boy is fair, of female favor, and bestows himself like a ripe sister. Are not you the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind he sends this bloody napkin.
What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame. If you were to know of me what man I am and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within an hour. And pacing through the forest, lo, what befell, he threw his eye aside, and mark what object it present itself. A wretched, ragged man lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded snake had wreathed itself. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself, and with indented glides did slip away into a bush. And under a bush's shade, a lioness lay crouching with cat-like watch. When that the sleeping man should stir, for 'tis the royal disposition of such beasts to prey upon nothing that doth seem as dead. This seen, Orlando approached the man and found it was his brother, his eldest brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And well, he might so do.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there, food for the sucked and hungry lion?
Twice did he turn his back and purpose so, but kindness, nobler than ever than revenge, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which, hurtling from miserable slumber, I awaked.
Are you his brother?
Was it you he rescued?
Was you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but I do not shame to tell you what I was since my conversion. So sweetly taste being the thing that I am.
But for the bloody napkin.
By and by, in brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, who led me instantly into the cave, there stripped himself, and here upon his arm a lioness torn some flesh away, which all the while had bled, and now he fainted and cried upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and after some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither to tell this story, that you might excuse his broken promise and to give this napkin dyed in his blood unto the shepherd youth that in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Ganymede! How now? Ganymede!
Many will swoon when they do look upon blood.
Oh, there's more in it. Cousin Ganymede.
Be of good cheer, youth. You a man, yet you lack a man's heart.
I do so. I confess it. I pray you tell your brother how well I counterfeited.
This was not counterfeit.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well, then take a good heart and counterfeit it to be a man.
So I do, but in faith, I should have been a woman by right.
You look paler and paler. Pray you draw homewards. Good sir, go with us.
That will I, for I must answer back how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
We shall find a time, Audrey. Oh, patience, patience. Oh, gentle Audrey.
The old priest was good enough for all the old gentleman's sayings.
Oh, a most wicked Sir Oliver, Audrey, a most vile martet. But Audrey, there is a man in the forest that lays claim to you.
I know the man you mean. My eyes are up here. Here comes the man you're talking about.
Ah, it is meat and drink to me to see a clown, by my troth. We that have good wit have much to answer for. We shall be flouting. We cannot hold.
Good eve, Audrey.
Good evening, William.
Yeah.
And good eve to you, sir.
Oh, good evening, gentle friend. Oh, my, how old are you, friend?
5 and 60, sir.
Oh, a ripe age. Is thy name Wallace, William?
William, sir.
A fair name. Wast thou born in the forest here?
Aye, sir. I thank God.
Thank God. A good answer. Art rich?
Say, sir, so-so.
So-so is good. Very good. Very excellent good. But it is not. It is, so-so. Art thou wise?
Aye, sir. I have a pretty wit.
Oh, why, thou sayest well. But I do remember a saying, the fool that doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Do you love this maid?
I do, sir.
Oh, well, give me your hand. Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Well, then learn this of me. To have is to have, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, abandoned. Which is in the vulgar, leave. The society of this female. Which is in the common is woman. Which together is abandon the society of this female, or clown, thou perish. Or, to thy better understanding, diest. Or I will kill thee, make thee away, translate thy life into death. I will kill thee 150 ways. Therefore, tremble and depart.
Do good, William.
God rest you, merry sir.
Our masters and mistress bid you come. Away, away.
Oh, trip, Audrey, trip. I attend.
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her? And that but seeing you should love her? And loving woo, and wooing she should grant? And will you persever to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question. The small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Eliana. Say with her that she loves me. Consent with both that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good, from my father's house and all my revenue that was old Sir Roland's will I estate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Go and prepare Eliana. For look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm. It's only a flesh wound.
I thought thy heart had been wounded in the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited the swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
He did, and greater wonders than that.
Nay, 'tis true. For your brother and my sister no sooner looked but they loved, no sooner loved but they sighed, no sooner sighed but they asked one another the reason, no sooner knew the reason but they sought the remedy. They are in the very rats of love, and will together, clubs cannot part them.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke to the nuptial. But, oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
Why then, tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you no longer with idle talking. Know of me that I know you are a gentleman of good conceit. Believe then, I can do strange things. I have, since I was 3 years old, conversed with a magician most profound in his art. If you do love Rosalind, as near the heart as your great gestures cry out, when your brother marries Aliena, you shall marry her.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do. Therefore, put on your best array, for tomorrow you will be married. You shall, and Rosalind, if you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
Youth, you have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ to you.
I care not if I have. You are followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to all be made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
And Phoebe, all made of fantasy, all made of passion, and all made of wishes. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
So am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
Pray you, no more of this. It is the howling of Irish wolves to the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet all together. I will marry you if ever I marry woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfied a man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you with what pleases you, contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind meet, as you love Phoebe meet, and as I love no woman, I'll meet. So fare you well, I have left you commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Oh, tomorrow is the joyful day, Audrey. Oh, tomorrow we will get it. Oh, be married.
I do desire it with all my heart, and I hope it is no dishonest desire to desire to be a woman of the world.
Come, Audrey!
Oh, as you wish!
Uh-huh.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he has promised?
I sometimes do believe and sometimes do not, as those who fear they hope and know they fear.
Patience once more. You say if I bring your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here.
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you will have her when I bring her.
That would I if I were of all kingdoms king.
And you say you will marry me if I be willing.
Will I, should I die the hour after.
But if you do refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
And you say you'll have Phoebe if she will.
Though to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even. Keep your word, O Duke, to give your daughter, you yours, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else refusing me, to wed this shepherd. Keep your word, Silvius, that you'll marry her if she refuses me. And from hence I go to make all these doubts even.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time that I ever saw him, methought he was a brother to your daughter. But, my good lord, this boy is forest born, and hath been tutored in rudiments of many desperate studies by his uncle, whom he reports to be a great magician, obscured somewhere in this forest.
Sure, there is another flood toward, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here come a pair of strange creatures, which in all tongues are called fools.
Salutations and greetings all.
Good my lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman that I have met so often in the forest. He hath been a courtier. He swears.
Well, I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country copulatives, to swear and to forswear, according as marriage binds and blood breaks. A poor virgin, sir, an ill-favored thing, but mine own.
By my faith, he is very swift and sententious.
Isn't he a rare fellow, my lord? He is as good at anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Good to receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven brought her, that thou mightst join her hand with his whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
Sight and shape be true, why then my love adieu.
I'll have no father if you are not he. I'll have no husband if you be not he. Nor never wed woman if you be not she.
Peace, ho, I bar confusion. 'Tis I must make conclusion of these events. Here are 8 that must join hands to take in Hymen's bands, if truth holds true contents. You and you, no cross shall part. You and you are heart in heart. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. You are sure together as the winter is to foul weather.
Oh, my dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
Let me have audience for a word or two. I am the second son of old Sir Roland, that brings tidings to this fair assembly. Duchess Frederica, hearing how that every day men of great worth resorted to this forest, addressed a mighty power, purposely to take her brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild wood she came, where, meeting with an old religious man, was converted both from her enterprise and from the world, her crown bequeathing to her banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again that were with him exiled. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young man. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding. First, in this forest, let us do those ends that here were well begun and well begot. And after every of this happy number that have endured through days and nights with us, shall share the good of our returned fortune. Meanwhile, forget all this new-fallen dignity and fall into our rustic revelry. And you, brides and bridegrooms all, with measure heaped in joy, to the measure's fall.
Sir, by your patience, if I heard you rightly, the Duchess hath put on a religious life and thrown to neglect the pompous court?
She hath.
To her will I. Out of these convertites, there is much to be heard and learned. You, to your former honor, I bequeath. Your patience and your virtue well deserves it. You, to a love that your true faith doth merit. You, to land and love and great allies. You, to a long and well-deserved bed. And you, to wrangling. For thy loving voyage is but 2 months victualed. So, to your pleasures. I am for other than for dancing measures.
Oh, stay, Jaques, stay.
To see no pastime, I. What you would have, I'll stay to see at your abandoned cave.
Oh, proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites as we do trust they'll end in true delight.
It is not the fashion to see the lady the epilogue, but it is no more unhandsome to see the lord the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, it is true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and a good play proves better with the help of a good epilogue. What case am I in then, that I cannot a good epilogue, nor can insinuate with you on behalf of a good play? I am not furnished like a beggar. Therefore, to beg will not become me. My ways are to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, oh women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, oh men, for the love you bear women, for I perceive by your simpering none of you hates them, that between you and the women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breasts that defied not. And I am sure as many as have good beards, good faces, and sweet breaths will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.